Welcome back, all of you. Um,
Are you up and broadcasting again or not?
yeah, yep.
Okay, let me
Put it
rehost.
back up.
Because
Yeah, sorry.
it
We
kicked
didn't
me.
have
No,
a
it's okay. It kicked me out of host mode after a while. All right, should be hosted now.
Okay, so as you guys come down from this hill after the sweltering heat has been solved, lucky felon, lucky felon. You come down and you see, as most of this is all downhill. That's a reasonable. What's actual sight? I don't know it off the top of my head. I've never had to deal with it.
With what's what?
What people's average sight? It's usually like far,
I mean,
right?
on a clear day with like fairly non-mountainous terrain, it's I forget what the line of sight was, but it's like several miles.
Yeah,
it's a long way.
As a things that can happen, I think my furthest spell goes out like 120 feet at least.
okay.
So
Right.
At least 100.
I can target that range.
Oh, yeah.
I think bows go about the same too.
That looks about right. Okay. As you come down the hill, you see a tent and some crates and a fire. The fire looks like it's burnt out. And then a little bit more grim as you continue to view down the hill. You see two creatures with hyena-like heads, and they look like they're feasting on this horse that's been slain in the middle of the road.
Or off to the side of the road, rather.
Off to the side of the road.
Sorry.
Bloodstains in the middle of the road. And they're eating, and you just hear them kind of laughing as they're eating this horse. And as you crest the hill, the one on the back end on your line of sight.
Right, close to the edge over there.
No, this is you.
Okay.
And points and laughs. And I'll have everyone roll initiative.
Alrighty. So do we just click the initiative box for that?
Yeah, just make sure you're...
I gotta put up turn order.
Yeah, make sure you select your token first.
Oh, okay.
You always have to have it selected. Initiative.
Seven. Oh, God.
Mine isn't letting me. You're selected.
And then just click the link where it says initiative at the top.
I'm trying. I'm getting a...
That's weird.
You have to click on the
face.
Let me just close my thing and open it up.
You have to click on the word initiative, not the box itself.
Yeah. Yeah, the word. Because we're actually highlights for the link.
Ah, there we go.
There you are. Hey, you're below
All right.
me.
Rolled initiative. So I am going to sort this by turn order. There we go.
All right.
All right. So this is the scene that's presented to you with a turned over caravan, bloodstains all over.
Do we see, are there people down there by the wagon?
So what you see is a couple of bodies on top of the turned over wagon.
Okay. Do they appear to be looks like corpses, or like nobody seems to be like moving in any way, alive?
No, none of that is moving in this
Okay.
in this quick moment of glance.
Okay.
So go ahead, Casey.
So just a real quick, I don't suppose any of you have an objection to attacking immediately, and then send a firebolt streaking towards the closer of the knolls.
Okay.
And we're gonna do that.
Tell me about how Dwayne launches this fiery projectile.
So the way this goes off is the staff that he walks with, he directs it towards it, calls out, and then it streaks down his arm along the staff and launches towards them. Because he actually sights along the staff as he shoots.
How much bling is on your staff?
It is a pretty blingy staff. It is a smooth staff, but it is shod on both ends, and the metal it is shod in has the House of Wands wand carved into it. So basically, what's repeated on his cuffs, collars, sleeves, and hood trim is also on the top and bottom of the staff.
So you're a big fan of branding.
I am a big fan of branding.
Branding is super important.
And unfortunately, the branding's going to be a little difficult with this particular troop. But
So question, don't mean to divert from that. Where is there? How do you use the ruler tool again? Is that on the toolbar over there?
Yeah.
It's the
On
thing
the
that looks like
toolbar,
a comb.
The thing that's
Yep.
above the die. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Ah, there it is. Okay, thank you.
All right. So as you fire your blinged out firebolt, no one would be able to tell that you've been a noble for your life. It looks like you've been doing this in the field the whole time as you hit this gnoll straight in the shoulder. Show me how much damage you do.
You just click on
you can just click the firebolt.
there we go.
Nice.
Is
Yeesh.
that the closest one?
Yes, so
Okay.
that's the... Ah, get out of my way. This fella here.
Okay.
All right. Casey, are we doing anything else for this round?
And then I will... No movement right now, because I'm behind the people with the armor.
We see Dwayne holding his ground so bravely, and we move to Felon.
Felon, in response to what you said, Dwayne, Felon would say, "Gnolls aren't known for their cheerful dispositions," and then he would hold out his holy symbol and cast a sacred flame on this guy right here.
All right, so tell me how your god of knowledge is empowering you to smite your enemies with sacred flame.
The way I imagine it is his he holds out, he's basically got what is functionally a small candle that he uses as his holy symbol, or at least it looks like a candle. It's not actually functional as a candle, but he brandishes that, and then the where the light would be like shines brightly for half a second, and then there would be a flash right on the in this case the gnoll, which would be the actual spell.
The gnoll looks very, very surprised at this amount of light that's coming out here, and it's
That damage roll. Beautiful. Ooh.
And as he looks surprised, he is still able to move out of the way, and it actually torches the horse's head behind him.
No.
No, worse.
I mean, hardly the worst thing that's happened to this horse, clearly, but
That's true.
Well, we will want to eat later, so...
I suppose.
Hey, these gnolls want to eat too.
Yeah, it seems like they already got a head start on the eating. For right now, I'm just gonna stay here. No one else has moved. I'm not gonna move either.
All right, we're gonna move on to 7.
okay. I'm assuming this is that yellow item north of them is a tent.
Yes.
Okay.
That is what it appears to be.
That's what I was assuming. And then are these like boxes or crates or something next to it?
Yeah, they're small. Looks like they would be easily liftable, even by, say, a gnome.
Okay. Okay. What I'll probably end up doing in this situation would be moving down to here. That would be 30 feet. How do I actually move the dude?
Click on them and arrow keys.
Oh, click and arrows. Okay. Arrows don't seem to be doing
You
anything.
have to be on the select tool because I think you're still on the.
Oh, I'm still on the ruler tool. Fair enough. Is it showing you guys when I'm pulling the rulers around?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of that.
Yep.
Oops. Well, sorry for annoying you with that. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Hold on here. So I assume with that we're not doing the double for every other for diagonal movements. We're just doing 5 per.
Yeah, diagonal's fine. Just wherever the ruler tells you to go.
All right. So if it's
Totally
30 to
good.
there, so in that case, I would move to there. So Cloud, all of his, ropey muscles kind of tense up and his eyes go wide when he sees this, and he crouches low. One hand clutches his staff closer, and he kind of half lopes on kind of all threes rapidly towards this situation and squats down next to the crates over here. His free hand goes to his side into a pouch, and he whips out with a little barbed dart and wings it at this guy. So he's 20 feet is my short range, so that's to there. So he's in short range for that. Let's see.
Yeah. So do you look like a maniac or just like?
No. It's like he goes from very kind of calm and relaxed to just suddenly super tensed for stuff happening.
That's awesome.
All right. And that's a hit, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call that one a hit.
Yeah. For 5 piercing.
All right. This Knoll is not nearly as happy as he was a couple of moments ago. You can see that his hyena-like laugh has dissipated.
And I crouch low and kind of take up a defensive stance with my staff, waiting and kind of occasionally glancing back over my shoulder at the rest of the group.
Well, he's an eager one, isn't he?
And as well, this Knoll is also eager as he begins his rage against the person who last hit him. He notices that you're a cat, and he doesn't care. And he will go after you with his spear.
That looks like a hit.
Yeah, 23 should hit. So that's going to be 4 to him.
Okay.
And then you can update that either in the character sheet or on your token.
How do I'm clicking the oh, I gotta use the select. I keep forgetting I'm on the ruler tool.
Yeah, and then if
Here
you
we
click the
go.
token and then click the bubble, you
So
can
I'm
change
down
it.
to 5 now.
Yeah.
I didn't hit enter. There we go.
And then that'll also update your character sheet.
Okay, good to know.
I only see one of the Knolls on the turn order.
Are they both, I'm assuming, going on the same initiative?
Yeah, the Knolls will be on the same initiative. The Knoll in the back knows when he has threats. And he knows those are dressed in clothing are very easy to hit with longbows. So our Knoll in the back here is going to shoot a longbow at Dwale.
Just before you shoot, is there any cover I can use? I know my cover just sort of ran forward on the other knoll, but...
I'll give you a partial. I'll give you a partial off of Felon here. So that's going to be +2 AC. So it's going to be a 15 to hit. And it looks like it just barely goes past Felon. Streaking
Accident, my bad.
streaking past his shield. And actually bouncing off of it, and then maybe into your shoulder.
I will react with shield, the spell.
Okay. And as it bounces off of his shield, it then proceeds to be completely disintegrated by your shield. Yeah, the gnoll cannot handle 2 shields.
Ah, where did you go?
As he's running forward, he steps over the now dead campfire, closing in with our cat-like friend, snarling and pointing at the mage in the back.
I believe they've noticed me.
And then you see a third gnoll who looks very,
Fun.
very crabby about being disrupted from his meal in the back.
I didn't even notice the third one.
He takes out his longbow, shakes some of the human entrails off of it, and then fires an arrow at Felon. Which unfortunately gets caught in the remaining entrails that he didn't shake off of his bow. And now we will pass the show to Bryces.
She can get to here. She is going to hoist up her staff that she walks with, the short staff, and come running down Isuet this way, and swing it as hard as she can at the one right in front of her. Where are you, Steph?
Nice.
So
That
So
is
do I-
definitely a hit.
to do damage, do I hit?
You can
Like-
just click
Just on the name where it says Shillelagh, like in the roll window.
Yeah, in the actual chat box itself, you
Okay.
can just click on Shillelagh right below what you rolled, and then that'll output your damage.
Aha! There we go. Do I do that twice? Is that a crit? No, the first. We're just doing
Yeah,
the
we're
first.
doing the
one.
first. The second is if we're rolling with advantage.
Okay.
Perfect.
Say if it had been advantage, that would have been amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, as you strike this knoll, and then maybe Lathander heard you early this morning when you were asking for strength. Maybe this knoll just has a very weak skull, but your wood just goes directly into his head, and just keeps going down. And at the end, it just looks like he doesn't have a face, and he falls to the ground.
Nice.
So pull the staff out and just kind of flick it really hard to get brain and skull bits off of it. And turn her attention to the next one nearby.
Cleb, seeing you take up spot alongside of him, turns and flashes you a big grin and gives you a little nod.
All right, and with that selfless display of companionism and joining on the front lines, we'll turn to Dwayne.
Wow.
Shameless.
So it's there. Terrain over in this area, just normal grass,
Absolutely.
How do you,
and
how do
then
you
dark green trees. Click and hold.
click and hold? Okay.
Yeah,
Dark
just
green trees. Yep.
Just trees.
Oh, okay.
All right. While cursing about the bastard who shot at me, I will walk over and take cover behind the trees, sighting down along at this guy right here, and fire off another firebolt. So right about there where I can get behind a tree trunk or two, and then shoot down at this guy.
All right. As your staff lights up as you try to get behind a tree trunk, you notice that the tree itself is a little bit weak, and it might not give you as much cover as you were hoping for. But your fire bolt indeed strikes true.
Awesome.
Piff.
I winged him.
Caught him on the ear.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and poke the tornado here.
All right. Felon's going to move down to here. Say, nice hit. And then he's going to cast Sacred Flame on this guy.
All right. Let's see if any learning has been done since the previous one.
No, unfortunately not.
Noel's got your number.
Apparently.
He
Jesus.
understands candles and flames.
Yeah, he's got that covered.
And then as the Knoll quickly moves out of the way, maybe he moves into the way of 7.
Yeah, in this situation, having seen the flame bolt come streaking past him, he glances back and sees Dwell moving back into a defensive position to be artillery. And he does a quick assessment of the battlefield situation and decides it's probably best not to be anywhere near the line of fire here. So to give him a clear shot, he tucks down low and kind of shoulder rolls around over to here, not disengaging, but just moves around to the side of it. And then when he comes up out of the roll, he swings his staff at the Knoll's like midsection, tries to like knock the wind out of him. Oh, that did not work. And with my... All right, so that didn't hit. But using my martial arts, so when I use with a monk, when you use an attack action with an unarmed strike or a monk weapon on your turn, you can make one unarmed strike as a bonus action. So that didn't go off so well. But I'll try to follow it up with a palm strike. 13, probably not.
Well, normally, a strike like this might not hit a Knoll. And we see you come around these crates. Maybe you get tripped up on these crates and you can't really execute with your quarterstaff. But your paws strike true.
Oh, okay. Well, 7 points of slashing.
All right. And as you rake this Knoll on the side, he realizes he might not be in the physical best place to deal with new types. But we'll find out because the Knolls are coming to town. Let's see what they do. All right. This one, seeing that his bow is full of entrails, is going to step up where the other one died, because no one said Knolls were very smart, and take a spear at Bryces.
Yep.
All right.
Briseis.
Maybe taking advantage of this hot day that you can't move around as well, and avoid this strike. He tries to hit you in the shoulder for 4 damage, and I just realized how many times I've said shoulder this combat. While the other Knoll, infuriated at the fact that you're running around everywhere, just wants to take a huge bite out of 7.
Oh.
And apparently is not very good with his natural abilities. I imagine your cat reflexes getting out of the way.
Yep.
And we will pass this on to Bryces.
Okay, so he speared. Yes, he gets speared in the shoulder and just kind of leans back a bit, but then wheels herself forward and swings the staff again, right towards it. Trying to clock it right across the snout.
You absolutely do. This it.
Knock out a couple teeth.
Yeah, it looks like you have also stopped this one from doing the Knoll's infamous hyena laugh as he's in the middle of it, and then as you bop him, his air goes dry as he's laughing, and he's got nothing. And we will move on again to Dwayne.
So still hanging back in the tree, wondering why everybody's so eager to run forward, sighting down along my arm and down the staff, and I'll send another one to this guy right here.
Not
He turns
Whish bang.
and glares at. Oh, there we go. There's the token. At the burning that's happening into his loincloth. That is the only thing that is covering him.
You set his loincloth on fire.
Singed his nethers.
All right, and that'll. I'm assuming is Dwayne moving?
Is there better tree cover that can be found right around the area, or is it all pretty sparse in there?
I mean, not. I mean, if you're looking at like this tree, it's going to be in the way. This tree.
No, then
I mean, maybe. Oh, and I personally, I really want to hear the backstory where Dwayne spent his time as a tactician, battlefield tactician. I want to hear that backstory.
I'm a noble. I command soldiers. That's what a noble does. I am intended to gather the soldiers for the levy.
All right, and then we'll bring it on to Felon.
Okay. How are these two gnolls looking? Vis-a-vis keeping their entrails inside of themselves.
Both of them are doing a pretty good job of keeping their entrails inside of them.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. This guy's got a bust. The guy on your left, or the guy to the west, has a nice
Right.
busted up nose, and the guy to the east is burning in two places, and
Okay.
he's got some scratches on him. But other than that,
Okay, then wait, let me just double check on to make sure that this is perfect. I'm gonna cast Bless on everyone. Bloop. So, up to 3 creatures would be everyone that's not me, and then
I
so
think I'm out of range, aren't I?
nope, 30 feet. You're 20 feet
Oh,
away.
I'm sorry. I was looking at Dwayne. My bad.
Nope.
Okay. fair enough.
So, yeah, everyone can get it. So whenever you roll an attack or a save, add a d4.
Okay. So when we do that, we just do a normal roll and then just roll a d4 on top of that.
Yep,
Mhm.
that's the
Okay.
attack roll. But that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to move.
all right.
Maybe she'll keep herself like in front of him, because he kind of seems like he might need a bit of protecting in
I just,
general.
I don't want to lose concentration.
She's more smacky. He's more
Yes. Very true.
All right. As we see a blessing go into effect on 3 out of our 4 party members, we will transition over to 7.
All right. So feeling this this surge of divine inspiration hit him, his eyes shift over to the burning loincloth, courtesy of Dwayne, and he comes up with the staff right in between its legs.
Aim for the bright spot.
Yep. Aim for the glowing weak spot.
All right. Go ahead and add your D4.
Didn't add the D4. Oops. So 19 total.
All right. So you accomplish your task of putting out this fire. You also accomplish your task of putting out this gnoll. As he falls to the ground, unable to move, function, or breathe.
Heroes are
You
important.
killed him through his crouch.
They're all good. So here's a question. So I made that attack. It doesn't specify that my unarmed trick has to be against the same target. Can I move and then still take the unarmed attack against the other one?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Well, in that case then, so he drops to the ground and I springboard off of his corpse, or his unconscious body, over to this one, and followed up with a strike right to the back of his spine area.
And a quick question: are we playing flanking?
Oh, that's a good question, yeah.
No.
Okay.
14 plus a d4. So 15.
All right. You see your strike go towards the knoll, and it looks like it's going to veer left. But at the last second, you quickly get some inspiration of wind resistance and the way muscles and muscle movement can affect that resistance, and it actually forces your claws into the knoll.
All right, for 7. Man, I'm maxing out damage on this.
It's like those scenes in the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock
All right.
Holmes movies where he like analyzes the fight as it's happening. It's like that.
Well, yeah, when you've got the blessing of the god of knowledge on your side.
Right.
All right. This knoll, furious and completely unable, like he has no friends anymore. You guys have ruined his dinner time.
How did that feel, bro?
He's just gonna take one stab at this cat that just keeps moving, and he's got nothing. He's got absolutely nothing. His spear goes into the ground, and as you see the spear hit the ground, the metal tip on the spear shatters.
Nice.
And we'll that leaves Bryces with a pretty good opening.
Yeah, like she had smacked it across the face, so like as it's turning around, she's gonna bring it back this way, just clock it across the back of the head. Oh no! Or try. My D4 is not really gonna help, but I'll roll it anyway. For the sake of it.
Yeah, not even the knowledge of Denier.
Whiz across the back. It's back fur fluff. Just poof.
You hear the knoll make a like it's trying to laugh, but it still can't. And we'll pass it over to Doyle.
All right, I'll move forward a little bit. Just get everybody out of the way. And then try and light him up again, still aiming down the staff. Looks like I'm almost going to shoot the staff like an archer. And here we hope.
Ooh. Oh, was that a nat 1? Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Tell me about your arcane failure here.
My arcane failure here, I'm thinking I'm tripping and basically shoving my own staff in my face on this one.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, sure, you know how to teach soldiers and how to maneuver them, but how many times have you been in the field, right?
That's true. And you know what? They did not have gopher holes on the practice fields.
So you hear the thump of a staff hitting something behind you, Felon. What do you do?
I look over my shoulder to see if there's more gnolls approaching from the south or north.
Dwell just sort of splayed out on the ground going, no, I'm good. Keep fighting.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Did one of them
fight.
tip you?
Kill it.
All right, if you insist. And I turn and I'm going to try to sacred flame this one. He can't
All right.
escape us now.
Well, this one is a different knoll,
Ha
and it looks like this knoll does not understand how fire works.
Perfect.
As this blast of light hits the knoll, he's actually stunned more by some random factoids that accompany the flame, and he looks more staggered and confused from that than the actual fire itself, which gives Seven a very good chance to make an opportunity out of this.
Yep. So in this case, like he's trying to figure out how to where this is all going out. I'm pointing out to him. I'm like, no. Pat the flames out here and here and here. 14 plus a d4. So 16.
Yeah, that'll do. That'll absolutely do.
6. And then if he's still up, I'll follow up with my unarmed.
As you try to hit him
the unarmed.
with a claw attack, you realize that it is not not an important part of this, as your staff already felled this beast as well.
Nice.
I have a quick question.
All right.
Because of how that was set up. Briseis has the Shield of the Faithful from the protection, and what it lets her do is, like, as a reaction, she could interfere with someone attacking a friend. It says within 5 feet, but like if they're flanking like that, could she, like, if it was going after Cloud, could she have like whacked it on the back of the head to give it disadvantage, or does she have to be standing next to
the person that
she's
helping.
trying to protect? Because we're flanking, it looks like if she saw it going for him, like she could maybe whack him and give him disadvantage that way. But I don't know how.
I mean, with me being on the far side, with it being like technically, I guess, assuming they were considered to be large. I mean, yeah, I would assume how if it's worded, like if I need to be within 5 feet of you as opposed to just within 5 feet of the enemy or whatever. Because I'm like on the far, I'm like 15 feet away, so.
This is when a creature attacks a target other than you that is within 5 feet of you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that means the creature.
I will say this. I see how it's written. I also understand how practically it could work in the situation that we just described. I'm gonna have to mull it over. I don't have the exact answer right now, but that's within the spirit of it. So I'm probably going to be willing to let that go, as long as it's a situation like that. That makes sense to me. But with that, there are 3 dead gnolls. I'm gonna move their bodies back out here, just so they're in the way. You guys have to deal with them. And I will take us out of initiative, unless there's something.
Brandishing his holy symbol, and says, "Dwell, where'd the other one go?"
Yeah, so snapping my head up and scanning around.
No
360,
other
checking
one.
for-
No,
Rogue
no
Gopher.
other one?
No.
Oh,
No other one.
Are you alright?
So Dwell just like slams his staff. He's like holding it at the very bottom, slams it into the ground, sort of climbs his way back up the staff until he's standing, and he just stands there for a second, and then he starts talking at his clothes, and dirt just pops off his clothes as he keeps casting spells to clean himself up. Like grass, just like pff, grass, pff, dirt. Pff, ugh. Then he fixes his hair.
So how do you guys react with the at least, what is this? It's 6 seconds a cast, and you got to pop it at least 6, 7, 8 times. That's like a minute worth of self cleaning. What do you guys?
He's putting the cat to shame for being dirty right now.
I'm more concerned about the spear wound that I took. I'm, less concerned about him and more concerned about making sure that I'm not bleeding out.
you get hurt, buddy? You need a hand? I haven't studied cat biology too much, but I might know a thing or two. Let me see.
Yeah, he just kind of isn't sure about the joke, but just kind of nods and at you as he's checking things and like stretching out. And
Okay. I look at how bad does this wound look?
I mean, it took almost half my hit points, so
Ooh,
I
yeah.
only have 9. I'm down to 5.
Ooh, look at that. Well, here, let me. This is gonna hurt a little bit, and he fell in. Takes 2 fingers, and he says, "I got to make sure it heals properly."
Oh.
And he sticks them both in the wound, and then he casts Cure Wounds, and slowly pulls them out as the wound heals.
Are we like secretly catering to some sort of weird fetish he has?
No, fella just wants to make sure it heals properly, and he read in books that
Like,
if you don't let
Briseis
it
was
heal
about
properly,
to go do the healing, and then
then
she's like,
sometimes it'll be bad.
okay,
Well, again,
she'll let him deal with it.
you fingering the wound is going to be far less of an issue than the spear itself was. So,
I think you're okay. You take 10 points of healing.
all right. So back-
Briseis is hurt too, but she is not going to be healing herself. She's going to be wandering over to where this the cart is, and she's going to just see if anyone survived at all. She's doubting it, but she's looking anyway.
Tap you on the shoulder. Thank you. It's much appreciated. And
No problem.
I'll head over towards the cart too and begin like poking around with my staff and turning things over and kind of trying to see what else going on over here along with her.
Do
All
I
right.
roll a thing to see, or
So-
are they just so dead that there's no point?
As you guys swing around the cart, you guys can see that there's 2 human bodies that look to be like stacked up and on top. They're dead. They're super dead. They've definitely been dead for at least way past cure wounds time.
Briseis is gonna put her staff down, just like put her hand over a holy symbol and starts speaking prayers to usher their souls where they are meant to go, to whatever god that they had worshipped, do whatever rituals that she knows how to do for them.
We see 2 humans, but the some of these boxes were gnome sized. Are there any gnomes around? I check under the humans, maybe lift them up.
Okay, so these boxes themselves, you look at them and they don't contain any gnomes. However, they are relatively small. It looks like they were the smaller boxes that would have been with this caravan.
No, I didn't mean gnome sized as in they'd fit a gnome in them. I meant gnome sized as in the gnome could easily carry them.
Sorry, that was a
Inferring there
very
might be
bad
gnome.
analogy for me to
Uh-huh.
use to communicate that they are too small to take combat cover behind.
Oh, no, I don't care about that. I just want to see if there's any dead gnomes around.
No,
Oh.
you see no dead gnomes in these crates or near these crates.
Okay. All right, well, we got to bury him, so.
Yep.
As you stand next to the bodies of the 5 men and say your prayer, you do notice that one of them does have a holy symbol.
Ooh, what up?
It's the holy symbol of Lathander.
She visibly looks like upset by this, and if there's special, something special to say to other clergy, any the special rituals, she'll do that. If they're are there any blankets or anything that they could wrap the bodies in, or bedroll? Well, bedroll's not really gonna do that, but
On the note of blankets and bedrolls, Dwayne, while still cursing about his clothing, will kind of move over to here and lift up a corner of the tent just to make sure nothing's going on inside there.
As you look inside the tent, you see nothing, no physical objects in the tent, and a couple of specks of bloodstains.
While they're going about this, is it looking through the stuff from the wagon? Is there anything like a shovel or anything we could actually use to dig a grave with?
Go ahead. I mean, if you guys want to look through you guys can see that there's some tumbled out stuff here in the crates. If you guys want to make a perception check, see if there's anything of note, whoever would like to.
17.
Sure.
All right. So as you guys search this caravan, you find no blankets, no sheets, no food. Everything in these crates has been emptied out. You don't find any sort of currency whatsoever in the crates or on the bodies themselves. And you, Rob, in particular, notice that the wheels on the cart have been stripped of iron.
Okay, so there's just spokes and there are no actual wheels.
Yeah, there's just
or there are wheels but no spokes probably. Or however,
and like the banding
the parts
that would have
should
been
be metal
around.
are not there.
Yes.
I'll point it out to the group, pointing and tapping with my staff and explaining. It's like, and then the wheels seem to have been stripped, and also it seems like this has already been looted. Can I do like a investigation to see if I can notice like tracks heading away or any sort of idea of where things could have gone? Because I don't feel like
something with boots.
Yeah, something like it doesn't feel like, it feels like this might have been a situation where maybe these gnolls came across this situation and just saw an opportunistic meal rather than were responsible for this, because obviously if there's only 3 of them, I don't think their buddies ran off with stuff and just left these guys here to feed.
All right. So if you want to, so you want to look for tracks, or you want to figure out what happened, or? I
want to see if I can notice any drag marks, tracks, anything heading away from the scene. Like I said,
Okay.
like boot tracks or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and give me a survival roll.
Survival? Okay. Oh, not good.
So there's footprints, and there's footprints everywhere.
Right. Can't make heads or tails of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of footprints.
Yeah, like I said, I'll be kind of crouching down and peering around and trying to look, but brow is furrowed, and I just can't seem to make heads or tails out of it.
Yeah, you can tell. I mean, you can tell that there are footprints in accordance to how many dead bodies there are in this area, but nothing else other than that.
Okay.
Briseis will look around too when she's finished with the prayers, and even if they haven't buried them, but at least like line them up and maybe cover them if they found it.
I mean, we could take down the tent, but he said there was no like sheets or anything like that. We could use the fabric from the tent, but that's probably about it.
Just something to give them some sort of dignity. She'll give it a look.
Absolutely. If you want to take down the tent itself, is not like overly bolted into the ground. It'd be easy to remove. After you said you wanted to look around for tracks.
Yeah, like after they're done with the.
Yeah, well, after, like I said, if I can't figure this out, I'll kind of, after if she's finding out that she's trying to do that, then I'll go over and begin disassembling the tent.
Meanwhile, Dwayne will be sort of levering the gnolls around with his staff, picking out things of any sort of value while trying not to touch the bodies.
All right, so we've got somebody taking down a tent, we've got somebody looking for tracks, and we've got somebody moving some gnolls around. So let's start with Athi's survival roll. You do notice that there are tracks here.
Where?
I'm sorry, Bryce's. This is very hard for me to get used to the character names here.
I think we can put names under ourselves if we want.
Yeah, that's true. We can change our own.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, that would really help.
All right. Yep.
I'd probably be able to better engage. We could do that in the future. Don't do it right now. We'll do it
Oh.
sometime. But Bryces, you do find, while Cloud just sees tons of footprints, you see way too many footprints for the 5 dead bodies and the 3 giant gnolls. You would estimate that there were maybe, at one point, 15 people walking around in this area, all within the same time.
Can I tell if they left in a direction?
You see,
Like as a group, I guess, like a bunch of them.
What you find is you find paths going in 3 different directions: one to the northeast, one to the southwest, and one directly to the north.
So, she will be wandering around this whole area. I'm kind of like stopping and like looking off in directions, and she will come back and just be like, so there are way more footprints than there are people here. I'm pretty sure that. How many did you say? Like at least like how many extra?
Yeah, you feel it'd be rough to get a number, but like a dozen at least.
Yeah, there were about a dozen people here. She starts pointing off in the directions, and it looks like they split up and went that way, and back the way we came.
All right. The tent does come down nicely and relatively uniform as well.
Okay.
And Dwayne, as you poke at these gnolls, you realize that they are gnolls and they don't carry anything. They have some spears and their longbow. Unless you would like to loot their loincloths.
Except for that one.
Except for the one.
Yeah, I'm sorry, only 2 loincloths. But they don't carry anything in particular of value. There's no pouches.
Nope.
Anything like that.
So they did not have anything from what these folks would probably have had on them. Not that they could have hidden all the goods, but they were here just eating.
They all do have in their areas no treasure, and they don't have. Sorry, I'm trying to circular back around here. They do have bloodstains on their hands, as though they were working this area of the bodies.
Got it.
So I haven't heard much from Felon. What's Felon doing while all of this looting / tent grabbing / tracking is going on?
Well, Felon's kind of torn. He's not really sure what to do. I mean, clearly. Actually, you know what? I know what Felon wants to do. Felon wants to examine the bodies to see if they were all killed by gnolls or if there was anything else here.
Go ahead and give me a medicine check.
Sure.
It looks like these bodies were not killed by any spears, which is what you saw the gnolls carrying. You do see some with arrow holes in their chests, but you don't see any arrows in the actual bodies themselves. And you do see some slicing marks indicative of scimitars.
Okay, Felon would stand up from examining the bodies and say, gnolls didn't do this. They're just opportunists. They found the bodies, but they didn't do this. They didn't have any of the stuff that was taken. And none of these bodies show any real signs of being attacked by the gnolls. So someone else did this, and then the gnolls just found the corpses.
Whoever did it split up.
Seems like bandits. Seems like scimitar marks and maybe some arrows. And they clearly cleaned up after themselves. So whoever did this was smart. Smarter than gnolls. Beyond that, I'm not sure, but important to keep in mind.
Is there any indication what had been in those crates you looked at?
That's a good question.
Is there any markings on the crates?
Wait, hold on. Are you getting your hands dirty? Are you touching something?
No, I'm asking them.
Oh.
I am back here asking them.
I don't know. Let's look.
Get my hands dirty. Are we mad?
Felon goes over and starts pawing through these crates to see if any of them have any identifying marks or anything that tells what might have been inside.
So all of the crates have markings on them, and it looks to be some sort of symbol. If somebody wants to give me a history check, maybe we can figure out what the symbol is.
Briseis wanders, maybe she'll have history.
I will come over here to better supervise and assist by supervising.
While this is going on, I'll start slowly like moving the bodies like over to like this area and lining them up and draping the tent over them.
Okay. So Sean and Athy, tell me both how you know that this is the symbol of the Merchants League, one of the merchant companies that is in Baldur's Gate.
I read it in a book. Before he set out, Felon tried to read up everything he could on the relationship between and Baldur's Gate due to the recent tensions, and he came across the symbol of the Merchants League that way.
Briseis has pretty much been wandering for a whole bunch of years, and she came from way far, like more inland, and came out this way, and she's likely like either gone through Baldur's Gate or around Baldur's Gate in her wanderings, and probably just run in even just run into them on the road and just recognizes the symbols from there.
Absolutely. So this is the symbols, obviously, of the Merchant League. It is a prominent guild in Baldur's Gate, and you know that they trade in everything. As you look into the crates, go ahead and investigate for me. See if you can figure out what's in these crates, or what's in these crates.
It's pretty good.
Ooh.
Athy, you're not sure that these are crates. Sean, you, by the markings on the inside of the crates and the carrying of the density, you see a lot of these were designed for farm, for grain, vegetables. You also see that they had metal banding around them, and that banding has disintegrated.
Interesting. Wait. The metal banding disintegrated. Like the knife in the bar. That? Felon frowns.
In the metal that's missing off the wheels, that was definitely like removed, and it, as opposed to disintegrated.
Yeah, it looks like it was removed.
Like ripped off.
So why would this metal disintegrate? They're coming from Baldur's Gate, where the metal's fine. So why would it break like this?
We really can't tell what direction they were going. Can't.
True.
Well, can they check the wagon tracks to see where it was coming from? Was that something that we would have noticed in the survival rules before? Or should we do that again?
So it looks like with that significant tracking, it looks like it was coming from the south.
Okay. So these were goods they probably picked up and are taking north, and that's why this metal disintegrated. Okay.
But the cart most likely came from Baldur's Gate, which is why the cart's construction was intact.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Fallon, do you happen to have any skill drawing images?
Oh, I've done quite a few drawings for many books. What sort of drawing?
Well, I was hoping you might be able to create a likeness of each of the unfortunate souls who passed. It is likely that they are guild members, and if we take along a token of the cart to present to the guild along with a sketch of their members who were lost, they may be able to come retrieve them and see them, their families properly notified.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Felon will go sit by the bodies and flip back the tent and start drawing faces.
As you guys flip that 10, and you guys, and it, sorry, Felon starts to buckle down and get ready to draw. Everybody make a perception check for me. All right, give me a second here, Athy and Casey. What languages do you speak?
Common, Draconic, and Elven.
Common, Infernal, and Celestial.
Okay, so you hear some sort of loud chanting coming from far away. It's in a kind of a sing-song tone, but it doesn't sound like a pleasant song. It sounds like a march.
Do you guys hear that?
What?
It sounds like there's a group of soldiers, a war band of some sort approaching.
Can we tell from where?
With the given the fact that you're coming down the hill, you can't tell if it's coming from the north or from the west.
Well, soldiers should be able to help, right? They might be able to.
Unless these gnolls were scouts, so I would suggest we finish what we are doing and move along quickly to the forge. Plus, I'm sure our delay will have us arriving past nightfall already.
Gnolls don't make good scouts. That's kind of silly. And Felon goes back to drawing.
Is this spot over here? Is this, I'm assuming, like a large rock on the left side of the road?
That is a rock. Sorry, I was putting on some music for you guys.
Oh, no worries. How tall is it?
10 feet.
All right. Would I be able to climb up on top of it and try to like scan around to see if I can see where the noise is coming from better?
Yeah,
a little bit of a height advantage there.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and give me. Did you just roll that one, or is
That was the one from before.
All right. Go ahead and roll it for me, and roll it with advantage.
All right. 17.
You can definitely tell it's actually coming from the northwest.
Okay.
And it is getting a little bit louder, and you do
Can I see
hear
anything?
kind of that drum-like noise. Very far in the distance, you can see just a small black blob.
Okay. It was like how far away?
Yeah, let's say a mile.
Okay. I crouch down, spin back to the group, and I point with my staff in the direction, and relay the information. That drums that they're that direction, but they're still a ways off. That they should be here in 15, 20 minutes. depending on how
Then-
fast they're marching.
Shall we give it 5 to finish the sketches and move on?
I mean, do we have evidence that they're not nice soldiers? I mean, we don't know.
Don't know, can't tell.
I don't think we could take on a whole army if they're not.
While they're debating this, I'm just going to continue to like stare down the blob as it approaches to try to discern any details as it gets any closer.
We do have investigation and additional knowledge to obtain. Shouldn't we be moving along to do that? Wasn't that your goal coming here?
Maybe, but the road is clearly dangerous,
How long
right?
will it take you to finish the drawings?
I mean, that should be done quickly. I mean, that 5 minutes would be enough, but I don't know. All right. I mean, if you guys feel strongly about it, I have no problem with it. It just seems
So the
rather
blob
hasty.
starts to get wider
Okay.
as it approaches.
So it looks like it might be like a formation of troops.
Whatever. It does look like it's expanding. It doesn't necessarily look like any particular formation that you've seen, given that you're so far that
Sure,
you're
sure.
from an exotic land. But it is getting louder, and it's getting wider, and it's getting closer.
Okay. Just again, constantly looking back and forth between them and the group, and kind of getting a little anxious for people to make some sort of a decision here.
Cloud, do they appear to be walking or running or riding towards us? How fast are they moving?
Can I make any sort of determination at that?
They're definitely not walking.
So yeah, I'll point that out. Not sure if they're running, but they're not walking.
You would estimate probably in about 10 minutes.
Okay, so yeah, if they're that far off, then they're definitely not walking.
Fallon, time to go.
All right, fine. Felon closes his notebook and stands up, brushes himself off.
And Dwayne, with 2 fingers on a corner, will pick up the smallest of the lids that has the guild mark on it and take it with him.
Bryces, tell me about how this quick leaving makes you feel about leaving one of a follower of Lathander behind.
She doesn't want to, but given the situation, and she's still injured, and she's holding it, and she's not going to heal herself. But like she's taking the longest to go, but she's going, and she's talking, like muttering under her breath, like she's talking to Lathander, saying she's sorry, but she needs to take care of them. They're already in his care, and that she's taking comfort in more than what's going to happen to their body.
I'll start tapping the rock with my staff. Haste, friends, haste.
So when as they're leaving, she's leaving.
So once everybody starts to like finally make their way away, I'll flip down off the rock and pull up the rear.
All right. So are we exiting stage down, I guess?
Stage continuing
Mhm.
towards the
Towards Jim.
Jim, yes. Jim, who is south of us.
South Jim.
All right. The road ahead has a couple of different hills. So if you make haste, you estimate you should be out of sight of whatever this giant black blob is coming.
If they're moving that fast, like
We are
Yeah, that's what I'm
also
thinking.
moving at a quick pace.
Okay. So as you guys move down, as I'm assuming you guys are running, you guys will make it over a couple of hills. And as you finish your running from a giant black blob, Felon, you recognize the type of sound that these drums are. They're orc war drums.
Oh, hey, we should get moving.
Oh, why is
Definitely get moving.
We're all-
You know how there were gnolls?
that? I do.
Remember that? Well, it turns out these are orcs.
Oh, yes, then we should get moving. Can you move any
Yes.
faster?
Do I have any familiarity with orcs? I don't know. I assume I don't know whether they exist back from where I lived.
I would assume just in passing in the realms that you've had currently. So
Okay.
you've probably had about a year's worth.
Okay.
Or however long you've been.
So I probably at least heard a pat mention of them. Like I would know what an orc is, even academically, if not firsthand. Okay, fair enough.
Absolutely. Okay. So, Felon, why are you so eager to get running now?
Well, Felon was sort of hoping that maybe it was some sort of military from Baldur's Gate or something like that, but knowing that it's orcs, Felon's had a bit of experience with orcs in the past. He doesn't really trust them to be nice. So, given everything that we know, he would much rather not be around when they show up. That's never gone well in the past.
All right, so you guys are moving south. Who's in the front?
This once we've already gotten a good distance away from the battle scene where the orcs were. Like once I was gonna say, once we've gotten far enough away that I'm not worried about watching our rear anymore, I'll take point.
Rosé still tends to hang back in general, just because she has a habit of putting herself in between everyone else, and even if it's a big scary danger, that's where she'll put herself.
All right, so as you guys move south, can you make me some perception checks, please?
Briseis is too busy chatting with Lathander at the moment.
You're totally in the god zone.
Yep. Exactly.
Rob, as you hear the drums fading quicker than just moving away from them would suggest.
Okay, so maybe they change direction.
Good.
Sorry. All right. As you guys continue to move south, I'm assuming, are you guys picking up the pace a little bit to make up for your time frame here, or are you guys still moving at a guarded, careful pace?
Felon thinks we should go faster. If there are orcs around, we don't want to hang out.
Yeah, because I'll point out, let them know that it sounds like they either stopped playing or they changed direction. Something happened, but they're not an immediate danger at the moment. Not that means we should idle, but I don't think we need to double time it.
All right, so as you guys move and continue down south, you're going to encounter some rain. It's a little afternoon rain, helps cool down after the hot midday. And as you continue to approach the town of Nashkel, you don't encounter any noise, any orcs. Your travel is relatively calm.
Put my
Briseis
hood up against
definitely
the rain.
wants to, at least, like, when they get to the town, like, alert somebody that there's this giant warband of orcs. Maybe not coming directly here, but in the vicinity.
As you travel south, you don't have any company on the road. You haven't encountered anyone coming north from the nation of Am.
Maybe they know.
It's been very empty. as that afternoon rain peters out and the sun still begins to set, you reach your evening and you reach the village of Nashkel.
Excellent.
Would there be a guard or someone official looking near the entrance to notify of what we found on the road?
Well, as you get to the village of Nashkel, you notice that it's not, in particular, a regular town. It looks like... Sorry, I'm transitioning you guys now. It looks really like two towns. You guys can start in the upper left corner of the map. That's fine. As you see it top down from a hill, there is a very small village. Looks like 15, 20 buildings. Very small. And it's surrounded by encampments. There's large amounts of tents just thrown up in circles around the town. And you also see a rather large wooden building. It's very plain, very not decorated. Looks like it was hastily built, but is very sturdy.
And we're in now, right? This is
Yeah. You guys are basically, you have just crossed the border into the Armenian nation.
Okay. Well,
There's a giant sign that says, "Welcome to please pay your taxes."
there's a person standing on here. Let's go ask them. They look friendly.
Pretty club.
So as you go through the outer layer of tents, you see lots of people basically wearing loincloths, wearing lots of nothing. They all look extremely dirty. They all look really tired, and multiple of them have like cuts, bruises, coal stains on their sides, dirt, and none of them look happy.
I would imagine not. They only got loincloths. Ugh.
Well, at least they're not on fire.
That's true.
As you walk through that tented area, it's just a stench of just human dirt and processed mining and picks. But as you enter into the village proper, you do see a couple of buildings and people who look relatively excited to have an outside face enter that isn't wearing a guard suit of armor or basically nothing.
How quaint.
So as you guys approach, and as Dwayne says, how quaint, this gentleman right here addresses you and says, "Well, it might be quaint, but it's what we have."
Clearly. What's with those tents out there? That's kind of not normal.
Well, those tents out there, they're for the miners.
What, miners?
The nation, our parent nation of has seen it fit to reopen the mines close to here. And they've brought their own workforce.
Oh.
But
When they do
where
that?
are their clothes? Why? How can they be mining like that?
Listen, I have a lot of things to take care of here. I don't pay attention much to... honestly, I don't pay any attention at all to the Armenians outside of my town. I care about my people in my town.
When did they show up? Like how long ago?
I'm sorry. Who are you?
Oh, Felon. Nice to meet you.
He looks at Felon. Um, and he
Dwayne
just-
sort of interjects on the pause and says, "Excuse him. I am Lord Dwayne."
I'm sorry. I was not talking to you. Thank
Harsh.
you, Felon. It's nice to meet you. My name is Gaskill.
Pleasure to meet you, Gaskill. So, you said this is your town. Are you like the mayor here? You run things, or?
I make sure things stay alive. Yes, I am the mayor.
Oh, perfect. So, when the miners move in?
Well, has seen it fit to bring their own workforce here instead of trying to use our village to help
Right.
with the mines.
And how long ago was that?
Oh, about 2 months ago. I'm so sorry.
Interesting.
Um,
Interesting.
and you all are?
I
We heard
gestured them.
rumors about what was going on with the iron, and we came to find out if there's anything we could do to help or what's going on. We could find help.
Oh well. The iron is not really my particular area. Could care less about what goes on with that iron. That's not my concern. My concern are the people of this town.
Do you you know a
Something
gym?
wrong?
I do know a Jim.
Oh,
I do know a Jim. He works very hard.
that's
But
good.
before I talk further about other people in my town, I'd like to know more about all of you. For instance, you, sir, I'm sorry. I cut you off earlier. I was addressing this gentleman here, who I now know as Felon. Who are you?
Lord Dwayne.
A Lord...
Lord.
I've not heard of a Lord Dwayne in the Armenian lands.
House Wands of Waterdeep.
He looks at you. Kind of like you're out of place.
A little.
But he is not one... It doesn't look like he's one to judge on first impressions. And then he motions towards our tiefling.
If I could interject one more moment. Slightly north of here, we came across, and he holds up the lid to the canister. A slaughtered group of guild members. Is that a concern of yours?
I would be more than happy to talk business with you. I have many concerns of my own as well. Let me find out who we all are here before I decide how much to talk. I see you are a priest of Lathander. He doesn't look phased by the fact that you're a tiefling.
She just smiles and nods. And she will explain that she came from Daggerfell, which is very, very far away. And she's traveling because she feels that she could help wherever is needed help, and it brought her down this way. She met up with these fine people that she will definitely speak up for, even Felon, and like especially Felon. She's like pats him on the back. He is good. He is good people. We're all good people. I could, if my word means anything, I could assure you of that. And
well, the word of a follower of Lathander is always bringing new things. I appreciate it. And I see you have a
I was gonna say, I'm standing here clutching my staff with both hands, just waiting to see how he finishes this, trying not to smile.
Nope. Sorry. Don't know. Gaskill, nice to meet you. And he kind of reaches out a hand to shake your hand.
And I offer my own. Seven Cloud Chaser of the Ragged Rivers.
That's a name. Okay. let me. And he kind of looks like seeing Felon and then seeing Bryces and Dwale, not recognizing Cloud at all. He kind of goes into one of his pockets and he looks at a piece of paper and he eyes it up and says, "Not what I was expecting, but it could do." First, you asked about the Merchant Guild. You asked about that sign of the Merchant, Dwale. I
Yes.
apologize for cutting you off. However, totally not my concern.
Understood.
I understand that there was a company that came from here 3-4 days ago and was traveling north. I know that they had purchased some goods and were traveling. Unfortunately, after they leave my town, I don't tend to keep tax on people.
Understandable. So long as they're none of your concern, I need not trouble you with it.
I
Felon
appreciate it.
a little concerned at this and sort of mumbles under his breath, but the orcs are a concern of his, but doesn't say anything out like super out loud.
He looks and he. Orcs?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, this big war band.
We assume. We're not certain on numbers.
Around here?
There were definitely drums.
They were northwest of where we found the ambush.
No, that doesn't make any sense. There's not been orcs around here. There hasn't been orcs in miles and decades. I mean, we pushed them out. Yeah, we pushed them out right next to Athkatla, and then we
They may
pushed
be
them
trying to come back, or at least the one tribe.
Asking Fallon, I turned to him. I was like, "You're certain that they were orcs?"
I'm very certain. And this is the perfect time for orcs to return. The iron's failing. Perhaps swords and armor won't be as effective against the orcs as they were last time. They see a ripe opportunity. And orcs are nothing if not opportunistic.
Yes, that would definitely fall into my column of problems. But it's not my immediate one.
Okay.
What is your immediate problem?
I'm having a hard issue keeping track of the people in my town. Recently, the Arminians have decided to, let's say, expand their recruiting process. Unfortunately, that means some of my townspeople have been working in the mines. I just noticed last week, Joseph has not returned.
Wait, so they just take them and they don't say anything, and then they die or whatever, and they never come back.
Well, in this, Joseph needed to make a few extra dollars. I'm sorry, a few extra gold pieces. He, with a baby on the way, he just needed something else besides farming. It's been so
Right.
hard recently with plows breaking in the fields. It's
Right.
just been awful. So, I mean, we sent him up there for weeks. He had been fine. He just went missing.
Up there. How far away is up there?
Just to the camps to the north.
Oh. And he just never came back.
No, that, as far as I understand, he's been in the mines. He's come out of the mines. We've seen him here for multiple weeks, but it's just recently not coming back.
They're not claiming any dead? Any accidents?
The less I talk to the Arminians, the better. Honestly, I really didn't even want to talk to them at all. But in this instance, I asked. And I asked for help finding them. Finding Joseph. And honestly, they've sent plenty of troops to make sure that their iron shipments get on time and the production is good. but they don't send investigators. I need investigators.
So you need us to go investigate the iron mine to find poor Joseph.
Well, I can't tell you, and I also can't get you into the iron mine to help find my good friend Joseph. But I do want him found.
So this is like
We're here to find out more about what's going on with the iron anyway. If something's happened to it
right.
in the mine, we could look for Joseph as well, and
Seems
anyone
like a
else
two
that may be
birds.
missing.
Yes, this does seem like a two birds, one stone type situation.
Because if something's going on in there and he saw it, that could be why he didn't come back.
I mean, I would absolutely help you in any way that I can to gain entrance to these mines, but they're not. That's not part of my town. It's not part of my control. It's all done by the Armenian government. There's nothing I can do directly to help you out with that.
What if we became workers? So they're expanding recruiting, right?
That
Mercedes kind of like looks over at Dwayne at that suggestion.
I don't think any of you would blend in.
I look good in a loincloth.
I think perhaps we should start by talking with Jim the blacksmith to see if he has any information or insight, and then we can investigate the mines if that does not provide us with any suitable, and we can look for Joseph while we're doing so, if it would make you all feel better.
You mentioned he has a child on the way?
Yes, it's a terrible thing. Terrible thing to not have for a child to not have a father.
Cloud just kind of furrows his brow and says, "Where did he live?"
Oh, just down to the south, right past the store, right next to the inn, circled by that giant green circle I just clicked on your map.
Oh, I didn't have the map blown out at a distance. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Fair enough. He gives a nod and kind of falls more silent than usual.
And I'm sorry, I can't offer you anything, basically, at all to help you into the mines. But that's the issue that I'm having, is my townspeople, including Joseph, are not here.
We'll come up with something.
How far away were the mines from here?
Like a half hour.
Okay.
Which direction?
They're let's say the camp is 10-15 minutes to the north, and then to the west of that another 10 minutes is the mines.
Okay.
So it's evening time. What if we go to the inn, get a room, then see Jim in the morning, and then go try to get in the mine? This seems like a good plan of attack.
That does seem reasonable.
One more question. What did he look like, so we know who we're looking for?
Well, you know what? He's not wearing anything but a loincloth.
Okay.
And
he's covered in dirt.
And he's covered in dirt, yeah. And honestly, none of that will help you.
Any distinguishing moles?
I believe the last significant thing he wore was a wedding ring. I believe it was. I know it's not a typical band. I know it's not made of iron either. It is. It's greenstone. Come to think of it,
that's pretty distinctive. That should be enough.
Well, I can't. Thank you. This is I have no other recourse. I have nothing else to be able to do to help my people. So thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
If you'd like, I can point out things on your map. I can draw you a map of the town.
Sure.
So he draws, and it looks like he's drawing in stick figures and boxes, but he manages to get it done for you guys. The inn is the giant T building down here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a convenience store, and then Joseph's house right down here.
Where we go for Slurpees and beef jerky.
Yeah. The criticals. In the middle of town is the giant Temple of Helm.
Okay.
And then there is a traveling merchant and also a house that's a little bit further away from everything else towards the south that has an Amidian noble residing in it.
Ooh.
Civilization at last.
Don't get too excited. I don't think he'll be pleased to see you.
Everyone's
Competition.
pleased to see me. Nobles don't compete.
I don't think that's true.
They
In fact,
cooperate.
I think I can call upon volumes and volumes of history that say that is not true.
It only appears that way from outside.
Oh, of course. Of course.
What does it look like from the inside?
A wonderful ballet.
Right. Sure.
We should probably head to the inn, and maybe before we leave, talk to Joseph's wife, just to get a. Because if we're gonna be looking for him, she might as well know.
Right. So go to the inn, get a room tomorrow. Jim, Joseph's wife, head towards the mine. Seems like a good plan.
And
That
just-
seems like a little short of notes for Felon. That seems like a little bit underscrolled for him.
Well, Felon isn't
He's-
big on planning. He writes down the things that have happened, not the things that will.
He's also distracted because he's completely redoing the map.
Right. He's got to completely rewrite it. It's totally different.
Just before we leave the mayor, the taxes that it asks that we pay, are there any entrance fees that we should take care of or any documentation that needs to be written?
Not for my village. Not
Understandable.
for your company. Absolutely. I don't even know that you're here.
Thank you. It is much appreciated.
And with that, he kind of looks at you and then doesn't look at you, and then goes back inside to his house.
Okay.
To the inn then.
Let's get fucked up.
And
I don't have an inside of the inn,
that's
so
fine. We'll just chill here.
you walk into the inn. It's held up by a young lady. She asks if you need rooms for the night.
Yes, ma'am.
Well,
Yes, we will need rooms. How many are currently available?
Well, I have one, and it has 2 beds,
okay.
and it's not very pretty. I'm sorry,
all right.
sir. I don't have something befitting your stature, but I'll make do with the best that I have.
That's okay. I don't need to sleep, really.
I'm sure it will suffice.
It'll be 2 silver, please.
That does seem a little steep for something you've undersold.
Well, it's the only inn in town.
Fair.
Gotcha there.
So she sets you up in a room. It is very plain. The beds are just straw. She does find a couple of extra blankets for the floors themselves, because while the room is spacious, it is not well decorated.
Okay. As long as Felon has a blanket, he's fine on the floor. He doesn't
Yeah,
really
same.
sleep, so. And you're a cat, so no problems there. So look like you guys get the comfy straw. Right, Dwell? Aren't you excited?
He doesn't actually whimper, but you can see the shiver running through his body.
Think of all the bugs that could live in that straw.
There's a door on the room.
There is a door. It
Okay.
actually shuts.
Okay.
It doesn't lock.
Once the door is shut and something is put in front of it like a boot, there will be a couple of prestidigitations to make that bed first hot, then cold, and scare out whatever's living in it, and then a little tidying up.
Absolutely. Did you guys want to? I'm sorry. You guys wanted to rest for the night?
Yeah.
What time is it?
Sesame will unbuckle her harness that holds the whole shield apparatus on her stump and let it just kind of fall to the floor. Thump. Stretches out that shoulder.
I imagine that's it.
Around
Is that the one that got hit, or?
Well, she had the shield on that shoulder, so probably the other one. So, you'll heal after she rests.
Nice.
Around
Alright.
what time is it?
It's about 10 p.m.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was earlier for some reason.
Yeah, no, it was a full day's travel down to the south, and also that
delays.
whole Noel's dead body in the road thing kind of took
Sure.
some time too.
All right.
So you guys rest. The night is very calm. No storms. You don't hear anything else unique. It's just lots of silence. However, right around 5 o'clock in the morning, you do hear very loud chanting. And it sounds like it's in common.
Okay.
And it sounds like it's marching orders and routines. It wakes all of you.
Is there a window to the room that we can see outside? Or are we interior with no window?
So you can see outside, but there's nothing
In our line of sight.
Yeah, you don't have anything in your line of sight. You just hear reverberation and like boots stomping over and over and over.
I'll take up my staff and like poke downstairs and peer outside.
Yeah.
So you see nothing. What you do, people-wise, see, however, is a priest of Helm standing outside of his temple. He waves over and says, "Yep, it's about time."
What do you mean it's about time?
Time for?
They always do this bright and early, right about this time. It's those damn mining troops up in the north. This is when they do their drill routines.
5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Fucking savages.
Well, if the dawn's happening, Briseis is fine, but that was still unsettling.
This is amazing. It's it's orderful. It's ordered. It's rhythmic. How do you guys not like this? You can see him kind of bobbing to the marching
Oh my goodness.
that's going on.
Helm. Fennel will just sort of shake his head and roll his eyes and head back into the inn.
Yeah. Does anybody else want to stay outside of the inn until morning?
I mean,
I'm awake.
You said it's like 5 a.m. Is the sun still down, or is the sky getting lighter at this point?
It's about an
Assuming?
hour until sunup.
Okay.
Briseis will probably hang out until
Yeah, probably the
the
same.
sun starts going, and she'll do her prayers as the sun's rising. It's generally what she does anyway. She's just slightly earlier than than normal.
All right. How much does
You
this
said
bother?
This is Helm, right?
Yeah, this is Helm.
There's kind of a bit of awkwardness with Briseis and the other guy, because Helm and Lathander kind of. Helm has a lot of resentment for Lathander, for because he blames Lathander for like killing his lover or something along the lines of that, I believe.
Yep.
So there tends to be a bit of, I guess, tension. Like she doesn't think anything like ill of him or anything, but she's kind of figuring he might be a bit like, oh, Lathander. But she will be cordial if they interact.
Old
Doyle's,
guy
on,
of Helm.
Doyle's only issue was he made it down, saw that nothing was really happening, headed back up, primped properly, and then came back down. So now he's all shined up and spiffy looking again. And hangs out where he can find a little bit of light to work by and starts working on his greeting card to send over to the Omnite Noble.
I would provide you with light. I would set my candlestick down and light it for you.
Oh,
Gotcha.
excellent.
I got your
Thank
back.
Well,
Excellent.
I was gonna say, while all this is going on, it seems like everybody's going through their things, morning ablutions and morning prayers and working on stuff. I'll slip out of the inn and head around the corner over to his wife's home and gently rap on the door.
You're greeted by a lady who looks fully awake.
Yeah, I
courtesy of some nice marching.
would have assumed such.
Cat monster at the door.
Trying to appear as non-threatening as possible for like 6.5 feet of gangly furred limbs.
Purrs.
Hood down, clutching staff, just trying as much as possible to appear respectful and calm. Give her a slight nod and pardon the intrusion.
She opens her door a crack and says "Who?" and then looks at you and then shuts the door.
I'll continue talking through the door since I assume she probably can hear. Your husband, we were informed he has gone missing. We would like to help.
And she kind of opens the door a crack.
And I extend a palm out towards her. I understand that I am a stranger to your lands, but trust that I mean you no harm.
And she looks at you, and you realize that she's kind of hunched over. She doesn't really stand as well, even carrying a child, as well as she should. And says, "Well, yes, of course, my husband, I need him. He's all that I have.
I understand.
That's what I need. I need to find him. I would appreciate it." And
my companions and I arrived in town last night. We are going to be investigating this area. What can you tell us about Joseph?
oh, well, Joseph, he was always a good man, and you can see she's got knitting needles, and as she's standing and rocking back and forth, she's also crocheting.
So not preparing to stab me. Okay, good.
Yes. Maybe.
You said hunched over. Does she seem like she has some sort of like a physical infirmity? Like she's in like a hunchback or something? Like she's just
No,
like...
she just not to your knowledge of human anatomy.
Right. I mean,
she just looks a little bit just bent over.
okay. Does she appear to be like super pregnant or just a little pregnant?
No. I mean, you have no idea.
Right, I guess that's fair. But I mean, I would kind of gather the bigger the belly, the closer to dropping.
Not big.
Okay, fair enough.
But yes, he was a good man. He's so hard. He always worked the field so hard, and
Like
he
nodding
and it's always
as she talks.
he just wanted to help, and he went to the mines, and I haven't seen him, and yet would you help? Would you help?
I will do what I can. How long has it been since you saw him?
Oh, it's been days. It's been days.
Was he normally home every day, or did he only...
Every day. He
Every
always came home. Oh, I miss him so much. Can you find him?
We will do what we can. Is there anything you will forgive if I'm uncertain of... The town master told us that he was one of the workers and couldn't do much to describe him. Is there anything distinguishing that we could look for to find him?
Oh, I gave him the best ring. It was, I found it, and it was so
Green stuff.
nice.
Yes.
Oh, yes, it was so green.
So I heard.
Really lights it. And I gave him the best knitted scarf. Oh, he hated it because it was so hot, but I knew he'd want to carry it here. And then with the small time that she's talked, she gives you this weird, like, just crocheted, looks like a cap. And she's like, here, you can put it on your tail. It'll help you stay warm. I know it's not that cold right now, but it'll help in the future.
I'll take it, place it in my satchel, and I'll reach inside and I'll pull out a small carved, like, duck or something I've been woodworking, and I'll give it to her and I'll say, for your little one when the time comes.
Oh, you understand. Like, as like she gives you that item, she receives yours in turn. There's a very strong look of comprehension and satisfaction in her face.
Do you have food? Is everything all right? Will you be able to...
Everything is fine. Everything is fine. You gave gifts, I gave gifts. Everything is fine.
Just want to make sure that you'll be able to eat until he returns home. Okay.
She nods.
Yep, and I give her a nod and I say, we will be back if we have any information or we find anything out.
Oh, I thank you. Thank you. And bring your friends next time. I'll knit them something too.
He presses a little bit of a smile and says, of course, and gives a little bow, backs up a couple steps and turns and walks back towards you. Looking at this knitted tail cozy, trying to figure out what to do with it.
Yeah, it's a tail cozy.
It's warm enough right now that I don't think I'm going to need that, but I assume these lands are much colder than back home, so I may at some point. What season is it even?
I'm kind of picturing like a leg warmer that he could just pull onto his tail.
Yeah. I assume it's summer, right? Since you said it was...
Yes, it was very hot.
Okay.
Kind of as Cloud comes wandering up in the morning hours, Dwell just looks over him and goes, oh, I guess that crosses species too.
Cocks his head to the side.
Nothing. You just had the same look as some of my pets did.
Turns and walks inside. And I'll relay the conversation to the two of them if they're not busy doing stuff.
I'm just reading. She said she knit us something?
She did.
Sweet.
If you have requests, I assume it would be time to start thinking about them.
Okay. Well, she didn't really give us too much other information, though, unfortunately.
Not really, it seems.
Yeah, well, it was worth a shot.
Yeah, she was definitely besotted with guilt and the urge to knit things.
Guilt knitter.
Guilt, sorry. Sorrow. Meh.
Sorrow knitter. It's fair.
All right, so we have one person finishing up a letter. We have one person providing light for letter.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's happening now or what you guys want to run around.
We were going to go see Jim.
Yeah, that was the plan.
I got the thing I want to do out of the way, so at this point I'm just tagging along.
Jim, we're off to see the magic blacksmith. Jim?
Yep. Before we leave, though, one of the girls at the inn or someone around who looks servanty, give them a copper or two to run the letter over to the nobleman's house.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. She kind of snickers because, I mean, it's, what, 50 feet?
Protocol, you don't show up unannounced.
Yeah, and she has absolutely no idea that that's a thing that's supposed to happen. So she's terribly excited by your 2 copper pieces. So you guys are going to meet Jim.
Mm-hmm.
Jim, who we have built up over the course of this entire session. So you come up to the forge, to the blacksmith up here in this corner. There is nothing going on outside. There's no lights on inside, and the door is shut.
Let's knock. Knock, 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 knock.
Yes, nothing happens.
Jim?
Casillas will kind of like put her ear up on the
Is there
door to see if she could hear.
windows on the side of the building or anything?
Yeah, there's windows on the side of the building.
Try to peer inside.
Okay. It's a relatively small forge. There's the front section, which looks to be the shop. It's stocked with less than you would imagine. You see a plow for the fields. You see some horseshoes hanging that are just kind of generic. As you make your way to the backside window, you see a small living quarters. And you see a man passed out in a chair.
Can I see if he's breathing?
You wait a couple of seconds, and then you see his chest rise, and then you see his chest fall.
That's good, at least. I'll head back around and let them know that he seems...
No, Rob died.
Oh no, Rob, where'd you go?
I think you might have accidentally closed Roll20.
It's a disastrophe.
Sorry. I accidentally clicked one of the side buttons on my mouse, and it took me back.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Anyway, I don't know if that cut me off. I said I came back around the front and let them know that he seemed to be asleep inside.
Oh,
Well, at least he's okay.
let's go see him. And Felon opens the door.
The door is locked.
She was
Damn it.
gonna just like kind of grab him by the back of the shirt, like manners.
I mean, I'm sorry. Unless you're opening the door by kicking down the door.
No. That's uncivilized.
Out of curiosity, hinges or post, wood, metal? Like, does there appear to be iron in the current construction? Oops, Sean, you blinking?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm losing Sean over here.
I did the same thing.
Oh, there he is. He's back. Oh, you. Can we all just take a turn at doing this?
Apparently.
That's what it looks like. So the door is made out of wood. It is hinged.
Just tap the hinges, see if they sound and ring true, or if they seem dusty problems.
They look old and well worn, and you tap them, and they don't spontaneously break into a bunch of dust.
Darn it.
Heading back around to the back, the back window. I'm assuming it's glass pane.
Yep.
Tap, tap, tap on it with the staff. Not hard enough to break it, but loud enough to make some racket.
You hear a snore.
Check to see, can the window be, is it like the kind that could be raised, or is it just like built into the frame?
Oh, it could be raised, sure.
Give it a try.
It opens, and as you open it, you hear glass falling and shattering.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. Poke my head out around.
And he
Just-
kind of just shovels up and says,
Speculating for the group to come around.
and then he kind of looks at you, and he's like, what? And then you see him look down, and he's holding a bottle that's half empty, and then he looks up back at you, and then he looks at the bottle, and then he drinks off of the bottle, and then he looks back at you, and then blinks.
And I'm still there.
Yeah. and he just sits there, and he just puts his head in his hands and leans forward.
Your front door is locked.
It's because we're not open.
We have questions
I don't care.
about the iron.
Okay, I care a little. Hold on.
Close the window back down, head back around the front.
Thank you for closing my window. No, thank you for breaking my bottles.
Well, I didn't break the bottles. At least I assume I didn't.
So you see movement inside of the house.
I'll fall back away from the front. I'm not taking point on this again.
Just looking over to him. What did you do?
I woke him up.
I didn't do it. Don't loot me. On me.
That sounded awfully loud for waking someone up.
You gotta be allowed to wake someone up.
He does have a
Point.
point.
He also appears to be rather heavily intoxicated. So
You can see him coming through the back, his back living room area, coming through his work area, tripping over shit, walking into the storefront area, trying to not have to hold on to like the walls or the sides. He still has to. He goes over, and you hear clunk clunk, clunk clunk, clunk, and the door opens.
Good morning.
No.
Yes, it is. I checked. Twice.
Okay. Hi.
You're
Who are
We're
you?
here to help with the iron. You should go sit down. We'll follow you in.
That sounds good. And then he turns around and he ushers you guys in. There's seating in the storefront, so he just takes a seat there. And kind of puts his head slightly on the table.
You say so. Walk in and just look around. And,
Felon will start pulling pieces off the wall and testing them to see if they're made of shoddy iron.
Quit touching my goods.
Are these ones made of the bad iron, or
Stop.
are they good stuff?
Briseis
Are you
will just kind
buying?
of like take his hands, just bring them
I
down.
can fix it once it's broken.
Keep it.
Are you buying?
Well, I just want to see if it's made with the
Do you
shoddy
have
iron.
money?
I do have money, actually.
Put your money on the
Helen.
table, and I will tell you what you can touch.
Felon would pull out his purse and plop it on the table.
how much can I touch for this much?
Doesn't he only have like
I have
2
2
gold
gold.
pieces?
Yeah, you have 2 gold pieces.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I will let you touch the horseshoes on
Uh-huh.
that rack.
Okay, excellent.
That rack.
Is there like a pitchfork or a hoe or anything nearby? Like tools.
Yeah, no, that's a
Perfect.
farmer's livelihood. You can't
grab one
touch
of
that
those.
for 2 gold.
I'll grab one of those and I'll start examining the head of it.
He looks over and he's like, seriously? This guy? Seriously?
He's from Candlekeep. They keep them in the books a little too long.
Fucking books. Ugh.
Hey, don't take Book's name in vain.
How dare you blaspheme books?
Yeah.
You blaspheme Books, sir.
Dwell sort of eyes up the pitchfork and then adds 3, then 4 more gold to the table.
No,
So
okay.
there's about 7 sitting there.
You don't have to buy. I just need to make sure that if you break things, I get paid.
Understood.
Because that one looks like he breaks things.
He
Hey.
does.
I've never broken anything, and I slam the pitchfork against the ground to see if it breaks. Does it break? Does it shatter into a million iron pieces?
No, it doesn't break.
Oh, perfect. Excellent. Good job. I put it back.
I place
Okay.
a gentle hand on his arm as if to like steer him away from touching it.
It's like
Okay.
Briseis on one side and
Yeah,
Cloud on
it's
the
like,
other. Just
no,
like,
no.
Okay. You said something about iron. What?
Yes,
What?
the proprietor of the tavern recommended you as a fine blacksmith, and we wish to come and investigate the troubles happening with the iron.
The gnome in
Oh,
insert town name here.
from the friendly Armin. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, did you guys? You guys
Paid too
should
much,
have
yes.
had the stout. Oh, I tell you, I don't know what his wife spikes in there, but it sure ain't 8% by volume. Gets me through the week. But no, great customer. Haven't been able to fill out orders for him for a little bit here. Been having some quality issues.
We
We're
noticed.
talking about iron, which means that we're talking about quality issues, which means you're solving my quality issues. So you're merchants from Baldur's Gate, and you're bringing me good iron.
No.
No, not really.
Would you like us to tell you, or would you like to keep guessing?
I need a drink. And he reaches behind the counter under the register and pulls out a bottle and then has a sip and says, "Go on."
You should probably drink some water.
We're looking to find the cause of the problems and see what can be done about it. These 3 are inquisitive and academic and may be able to unravel the difficulties. And I'm here to see they don't get into too much trouble.
Too late.
Yes.
By Helm, your words are way too big for this time of day. But, okay, so you 3 look into things and you keep them. Okay, I don't care about that.
Fair.
Iron. You're fixing my iron problems. Okay. All of my iron for the last month, I've only been able to get it from the local mines.
And it's been awful.
I haven't been able to make shit.
Okay. So Felon gets very inquisitive and stops his sentence there as he thinks.
Dwell just kind of turns and looks at him.
He gives you a go on hand gesture.
I think he was going to ask prior to that, where were you mainly purchasing your iron from? Or ore from?
Well, I mean, usually I get it from the mines. They're local.
Oh, so the mines did reopen recently?
They did, but it's only been very recently that I've been getting shit for iron.
And the gentleman, Grath, something with a G. He said that they only started bringing in a ton of miners about 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, they had Fuck, I don't
They were
know.
upping
Apparently,
production
people
or something.
are ordering. I don't know. There's other blacksmiths in other places, and they make shit too. I guess I'm not the only blacksmith.
I hope not.
I think. I don't know. I haven't been making a lot of stuff.
So the problems with the supply have been going on for a month, but only 2 weeks ago, goes through all this expense to bring in a ton of extra miners. Why?
I
Felon
don't
looks
think
at
he's going
Jim.
to be able to answer.
Yeah, he looks at you. Like, are you asking that question to him?
Yeah, Felon's asking it out loud to the room.
Okay, because he looks at you and he's like, "Dude, what?"
Well, think
Huh?
about it. Month ago, iron starts being shit. They must have known about it. But 2 weeks ago, goes through pays all this money to bring in a bunch of all of these people to pay them to start bringing out buckets and buckets and buckets of this iron that they know is bad. Why? Why double down? What do they stand to gain? Because clearly they stand to gain something.
Jim, he kind of looks and he says, "Politicians are stupid."
Yes.
So, my question was with this ore, are you you're able to work with it before it starts breaking?
It's weird. It forges, and it will melt, and some things will break during the process, and that's how I know sometimes I get bad ore, and then sometimes they don't break until after I'm done making it, and then like sometimes they work for a little bit and then they break. It's really weird.
And do you work in any other metals? Copper, bronze?
Nah, iron for me. Iron in blood. Iron and iron booze.
Come on, Dwayne. He's a blacksmith, not a yellow or silversmith. God. So I have a question, Jim. You ever do any deals with orcs? Anything like that? Anything weird?
Nah, works but bad for business.
Orcs are bad for business, so you don't do deals with orcs. I thought anything could be bought and on for the right price. Right?
I don't deal with orcs.
You don't deal with orcs. I'm wondering if someone maybe did do a deal with orcs.
I don't know. All I know is my iron's shit. And I need better iron.
You
And you guys aren't merchants from Baldur's Gate, which makes me very not happy.
No, sorry. Sorry, bud.
Unfortunately, the last merchants from Baldur's Gate came to a foul end. Do you, the iron that you are working with, it does appear, for all intents and purposes, the same. There's no difference to it that you notice?
All the same. All the same.
Doesn't taste different or anything?
I don't taste iron. I'm not an idiot.
Oh, I mean, if you were going to inspect it to see if it was bad or not, maybe you would. It just seems like it might be a viable test.
It just seems like the kind of thing a person would do to test it. That's all.
Right. I mean, if you were going to really test the iron, taste is a good measure, right?
No.
No.
Well, to each their own, I suppose.
And the merchants that you have been buying from are the same merchants, or has a new company been selling? Or new guild?
They are... you kind of see him start to lose his ability to talk. And fade down a little bit.
Hey, Stay focused. I flash light in front of his face.
Meh. You're an asshole.
Yes.
Sorry guys, I'm gonna be right back. I will wrap up with Jim here. I've
Okay.
got a side emergency. I will be right back.
Okay. So I have a theory.
Okay.
I think that someone made a deal with these orcs to deliberately put out a bunch of really shitty iron so that the orcs would have an easier time raiding and taking places that they want to go after. So the orcs paid maybe the government of or someone like that to push out a bunch of shitty iron so that the orcs could move in and do what they wanted to do with less resistance. That's my working theory right now. That's what I think.
Maybe the orcs did it themselves. It seems less likely that the government of a country would have a conversation with an orc, let alone.
Well, why not? If the money was right, everything can be bought in right? If the orcs had something the government really wanted, maybe it wasn't money. Maybe it was something else. And I feel orcs are stupid.
Which is why this seems like a bit of a high-level plan for them.
And it
Right.
would really explain the increase in production.
Well, no, I think it would if they made a deal with the government to deliberately push out this ore as much as possible, then they'd be increasing production to push it out as fast as they could.
I haven't been making deals with any other merchants.
So it's the same.
I've been trying, but they haven't been delivering. I can order it from everybody, just nobody gets here.
Nobody gets
Nobody will send me anything. All I can get is this crap.
Are they not allowed, or are they just refusing?
I placed you can kind of see him trying to remember the name of the place that he ordered from. I don't know, it was something in some place from Baldur's Gate, and I don't
Right.
I don't know, man. You can see that he's visibly, like, he's intoxicated, and it makes sense that some of these things, like, he seriously won't remember.
That's fine. Do you remember if they agreed to send the shipment and then they said they sent it but it never got here, or if they said we can't do that and never sent the shipment at all?
I remember talking to a bunch of merchants, and all of them said that they wanted to get ore and they wanted to sell me stuff. They just couldn't.
Because Baldur's Gate's having some sort of production issue. From what we understand, at least.
Yeah.
Now, Jim, would you normally pick up your iron or ore directly from the mines? Do you frequent that area, or do they deliver it to you here?
No, I'm not allowed to touch it before it gets here. It's not good business. Besides, they have to go that way, and that's a very long walk. I don't want to walk that far.
Understood.
Not walk that far, Jim.
We're looking to investigate a little more in that area ourselves, and if you were headed there, we would accompany you. But if you do not, no need to worry.
No, I'll be here. Right here. And then he points. He's trying to point his finger at the table, and then it does not hit the table. Instead, it goes towards the ground, and it flops his arm, and then he falls off of his chair.
Good job.
We'll go help him back up again. If he's able to sit.
That you try to pick him up, and he just says, "No, floor good." And he kind of just leaves it at that.
Okay.
As he's laying there. But like, so you don't have what? Okay, you're gonna try to fix my ore.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, I'm not going to pay you anything.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, we have a deal.
Not going to pay you. I don't like you. We got a deal.
That's fine.
Great.
Just expect us to charge a considerable amount when we sell you ore.
We'll give him the friend discount.
He looks at you and he's like, "Fucking nobles," and then he takes another drink off of his bottle.
Oh, Jim, are these bottles important? Do you want me to fix them?
He just kind of waves you off, as
Alright,
in
fine.
like, "Meh."
All right, I mean, I could fix them, but if you don't want me
I
to,
think it
that's
was
fine.
what was in the bottle that was important to him.
Yeah, but he could fill the bottle with all sorts of things. Think of all the uses for a bottle.
You should go now.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, the bottle might be helpful, but I guess
You
if
should
don't
go
want
now.
it, It's free. I mean, it's
Come
not a
on,
very good
fella.
businessman. Maybe that's
Gonna
why.
stand
Get
up.
out!
I was going to say, stand up, grab him by the
Let
arm,
him
and begin
talk.
to like lift him, drag him towards the door.
Just point him in a direction, and you can keep talking. Just have to keep start going.
Drag him out of there.
Shut the door behind us.
Bye, Jim.
Bye, guy. And you have a real distinct sense that he does not remember your name.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Jim and I are going to be best friends.
Okay. But yeah, that's where I'm going to call it. This was right down to the time frame on this time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's top of the hour. Nice.
But I just want to say thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for participating. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for setting this up for us.
And I'm
Yeah.
happy. Yeah. If you guys have feedback, things you'd like to see, things you like, things you didn't like, it's been a little bit since I've done this, so please shoot it to me.
No
I would
worries.
appreciate it.
I'd like it if all of my
Doing
theories
great.
were right about what's going on.
Okay. You don't got it, buddy.
Thanks.
Don't worry. We
So
can
if
make
I'm
them
wrong,
feel
now
nice.
it's because he changed it.
Yeah,
so that's-
obviously.
That's what it is. Boom. Bases covered.
But yeah, same time next week. Everybody's
Absolutely.
good.
Sounds
Should be
good.
No problems.
We will see you then. Thank you.
Have
Oh.
a good night.
Random question. Didn't even think about this. Are we doing milestone XP or regular XP?
Milestone.
Okay.
Beautiful. I'll write down numbers.
Not level 2 yet.
Okay.
Noted.
Not yet. That's one thing I hate. I hate level 1.
It's level 1.
So level 2 will happen sooner rather than later. I hate level 1. But yes, milestone XP. Anything else off the top of the head? I don't think anything else came up mechanically in play.
Yeah, we asked about if flanking was happening or not. We said no on that.
One mechanic tabletop wise. If you share the journals for us, but don't give us the rights to edit, I think it puts names on everything for everybody. Like right now, I think we can each only see our own journal. But I think if you show the journals to everybody, but don't allow us to edit each other, all we can see are each other's bios, but like the names go on the turn order and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I believe that's the mechanic that puts
Yeah.
the names on things.
It'll only put it on like the turn order and stuff. I don't think it'll put it on the rolls or like under our pictures.
Oh no,
You have
for the rolls for the pictures at the bottom, I just figured that out. For under the pictures, there's a thing to edit where you can edit your display name, but at the bottom under the chat box, if you say it's as, you can switch it to there,
Right.
and then you can do a roll, and it'll come up as like under the character name instead of our screen names.
Right.
So, like if we did like a
Ah.
So
Okay.
I noticed that when I was poking around the interface during
What did
RP
you say
time.
as?
Underneath the chat box on the chat side, there's a little pull down, and it says as, and it'll have your screen name and then your character name.
I don't have a pull down.
You
How
don't?
do